mother came here with Fort Bliss. She came out to El Paso from Yazoo City, Mississippi, because of her health, and this was a good climate for tuberculosis. And my father came out here with the railroad. Oh, I would say in the early 1900s. I'd say about 1917, 1918, something like that. I lived on, well, we were born on Tornea Street, and about the age of 2 or 3 we moved to 1127 East Overland, which is in South El Paso.
Is that Second Ward?
Yes, that's considered part of Second Ward. We lived about 4 or 5 blocks from Second Baptist Church, and during that time churches were the center of the black community. Everything that really went on outside of school was centered around the black churches. There was a USO in the old building, about in the same block of Second Baptist, and we used to have socials there. And when the soldiers would come, of course they were segregated then. They would go down to the USO, which is the Masonic building now.
Were there black families that lived out in town, military families, or did they live on post?
Most of the black families lived in town.
They did. Then their children went to Douglas School?
Yes, they were bused to Douglas School. All blacks went to Douglas School at that time.
The neighborhoods, were they segregated at all? Did you feel that there were places you couldn't live here, or?
Well, at that time, there were places that we couldn't live. Yes, there really were. Most of the blacks lived in South El Paso, and then later on they moved to the central El Paso.
If you were to see the history of blacks written in El Paso, what would you like to see done? What would you like to see included?
I would like to see the contributions that blacks have made in building El Paso, and the unique gifts that they have really given El Paso.